I'm so excited to be here with you today, and I just thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to come and share. You know, one of my favorite childhood memories was growing up and going to our cabin down at the Lake of the Ozarks. My mom would load us up in the station wagon, we would drive down there, and as soon as we got there, the first thing we did, my brothers and I, is we would run out onto the dock. Now, today docks are really fancy, but back in those days, they were just, just a couple little pieces of wood. They had this metal bar that kind of went up and went over. And so the goal was for us to run down to the dock, to grab onto that bar and try to walk across the bar without falling in the water. And of course we had our clothes on, so we didn't want to fall into the water. Well, it wasn't that hard, except for if you had two people on each side and they were just shaking that bar as fast as they could. It was so hard to hang on. And I don't know about you, but sometimes managing life feels like that. It just feels like you're just hanging on for dear life. Well, today what I want to share with you is just some principles that I've learned about kind of how to manage our life, because life brings us unexpected things all the time. If you've ever been to Colorado, you know how beautiful it is. You know, sometimes the water is smooth, sometimes it's rough, and so we get in this raft and we begin to go, and it's just breathtaking. You know, the water would be like glass, and we would look at the mountains in the background, but then all of a sudden we might take a turn and we'd come to these big rapids. Well, there was a place that was called Seidel Suckhole, and it was a really rough spot, so we had to get out of our raft, and they took us up on this cliff and they showed us like exactly how we were going to have to steer through these rapid waters. So we get back in the raft and we start going. Well, you know, when you're in a raft and everybody's paddling, you have to paddle at the same time. Well, somehow somebody saw a rock and they pushed off, and it just set our raft into a tailspin. And before I knew it, I was feeling myself falling back, and my head went back underneath the water. And I don't think I could do it today, but my leg was strong enough. I had it in that canvas foothold, and I was able to pull myself back up. And so thank God, you know, we made it. Everybody cheered for us because we made it through the rapids. Well, one of the ways that I've learned that helps me to manage life is to persevere, okay? To persevere. How do we persevere when things unexpectedly happen? Well, I think for one thing, we can have a positive attitude. You know, attitude makes all the difference in the world. We can be grateful. We can think about the things that we have to be thankful for. And you know, even though life is hard, we know that someone else always has life a lot harder than us. And so when we think about our time and how to manage our time, it's an investment. We can invest our minutes in things that we believe are most important. Well, thank you all again for having me today. I was so glad to be here. And you know, as you think about managing your life, just remember those three things that we talked about. First of all, we have to prepare before the crisis, because we know there's going to be something right around the corner. Then we have to learn to prioritize. We have to prioritize according to the values that we have and what we want to spend our time doing. And then finally, we have to learn to persevere. And in doing so, persevering, being thankful and grateful, and don't forget to dream, because you got to always keep dreaming. That's going to help you to persevere.